Alrighty. Looks like everything. Hey, everybody. Go7 here, King of the Penguins. Alrighty. Looks like everything is up and running, so I'm just gonna look to see what's going on in these games. Yes. Oh, my phone just went off. I need to put that on. You can tell I'm a Zelda fan. Oh, hey, Shadow. Wow, you were so fast. I do appreciate how much you hail the King of the Penguins all the time. I don't know if you've missed an appearance yet. Notification, notification go burr. That makes sense. Okay, this was my Sonia versus Kindle in high funds. Okay. Did I have nefarious plans of skipping this property? I don't remember. Definitely complete that one. I think I do this capture route. It is interesting to go straight for the airport. My opponent can't really do anything to pressure me right now. I could also just go down. Start that capture. But then they can just take that from me. Or if I get the comm tower fast, before I can get lots of pressure put on me. Double comm tower does seem nice. Let's try that. Even like there's a little chain. Except I have to also build an inventory for this copter, so I probably don't chain. Should be fine. Then this guy can get this property. I guess he can complete this property, and then he can be the one that hops into the transport copter. I don't know if you've hailed me in all the videos that I've like collabed with for like multi-topic talk. I know you've hailed in all of my videos. Although I don't know if you've done it on the streams. So I think I like this. Fast airport. Hey, Fluffy. Not the streams yet. Yeah, so skip this capture. Go for the airport. Since the opponent can't really pressure me very well right now because they're still setting up to grab this base. They don't have both bases online yet. More, Sonia, more! So I'm gonna try and get a fast transport copter to get double comm tower against single comm tower. Maybe use that to try and get this comm tower. Try and offset that bad luck. I think it's better to do it now rather than later because my opponent can't pressure me over here yet. That'll be our plan. And then we have Frost Leaf. Okay. Definitely start that capture. I'm lined up to... I think it's fine to go out this way slowly. I could go here with this guy. Have him line up here. Oh, that doesn't reach. Never mind. Okay, then we'll just hop in our boat. And I guess I'm going for this capture. Seems like the best forward capture. We see y'all. Excuse me, we see y'all. We'll send this guy over here. Bunch of infantry. I think it is a good idea to do the side game thing. I don't know how long I'll do this stream. I was just gonna take my turns for the most part. I have some options for side games. I could always do like super auto pets, or I could even do like fantasy general playthrough, something that I can very easily, or fantasy general 2. Just something I can easily switch off of. I'm playing Sonya, or not Sonya, Sammy against Sasha. This is exciting. Make sure to shoot the pipe seam. Definitely double infantry. I think I have to go APC with Sammy, right? You'd be 100% fine with side games. Is there any preference from the community for side games that I play? I've never mapped out a Sammy opening on this map. Is it APC to the middle instead of going to the side? So you can like pressure these? Is it fast? Fast transport copter? I'll do fast transport copter. We'll try and win. Well, against Sasha. I guess I can try and even out on the unit count front. Just in case she tries to battlecopter spam me, I can just battlecopter spam back and then use the artillery to take out the teched up units. There are some good infantry. At the start, there's definitely infantry fights in the middle. I guess a tiny bit on the sides. I mean, transport copter is pretty strong. Like, you can pick up mechs immediately from the mountains. Where can I go from the mountain? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's pretty far. Anywhere along here? Drop right into the city. Over there. Pick up from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This city is very easy to drop on. The problem is, I like front switching on this map. I guess if I have enough transport copters, I can do like giant mech swaps or front switches over the lakes. We'll try going my. This guy's going here next turn, and then capturing the airport. Oh, this is a new map. Very easy turn. Now I think I saw that the APC build on here is not safe. The transport copter build's pretty trash, just because the airport's so far back there. And like, what do you even boost to? Against a Kindle. I'm thinking recon pressure. Utilizing the roads. What's the rating of this Kindle? 836. Okay. I think I'll go recon pressure then. Is that all of my games? Looks like it. I think one of them auto started without me choosing the CO. But whichever one that was, that must have been this one. This top one, the Sasha, Sammy. Let's go! Daniel, do you have any preferences for a side game I could play when in between waiting for turns. Once I've completed my first 5 games, it won't be such a big deal because I'll have 25 games going at the same time. I think I'll map out. Which game should I map out? It's kind of funny, the Stalingrad. This is the one I prepped an opening for. They're gonna time out in 20 hours. Caustic Finale is fun. That's for a map. I was thinking like a non-Advanced Wars game I'd play when waiting for turns to happen. I could try joining a public game. There's 39 available. Yeah, but they all have pretty decent increments. A practice match. You want to go against me? Sure, we could oh, I know this map. I played TF2 back in the day. Isn't it like absolutely swarmed with bots right now? Sure, Shadow, we can play a live game. Oh, you wouldn't be able to play a live game, though? That's okay. Even semi-live would be fine. Oh, you guys can't see. Oh, how'd they fix the problem? Yeah, it's almost 9 o'clock on my time, too. I understand going to sleep. Yeah, sleep's important. Are you also Pacific Standard Time? Oh, nice. Pacific Coast for the win. I think there's someone that I have like a scheduled live fog game with. Well, that I never scheduled. I could check to see if they're online. Doesn't look like they're online. Hey, all my 5 games, no one's taking their turns. So it's up to either getting challenged to a live game, boop, or I can try and play a side game. I don't know why everyone's booping, but it's good. Oh, I like Andy the most gameplay-wise. I think my favorite character-wise... I never played the original games, so I don't know. Maybe Sonya? Is this the better way to go? No, it's like this, right? I can't actually lower itself. Oh. What's up with Sonya? Poor Mr. Boop. And then I would fire and I'll send you out here for this chain. Send you here. It's not great. Wheels of Torment. All right. Is that map actually been released? I thought it had FTA problems. I didn't type it in right. She has her priorities when it comes to war. Is it Wheel of Torment? The wheel. There's so many wheel. There, Wheel of Torment. Oh, looks like they fixed the FTA problem with the planner then. I mean, I don't like that it has a Cobalt Ice spawn, so if the game, if I get queued into it and I'm not player one, I just have to hope they switch off of it. Is this not the right one? Yeah, you can move planner any game. See if we can go back for you. Let me... Okay, well, we'll move the screen down for you guys. If I can. Dude. At the top, create game, view games, planner. And I'll try and move this back to where it was. Drake and Grit were best characters. This doesn't look like the Global League map. You know what I can do? I can go to Global League. Go to Map and Settings. That's what I should have done in the first place. Fog of War. Wheel of Torment L. Okay. Is this not the same? It looks very similar. Yeah, the birds make some noise. No problem. Okay. Well, turn one's very easy. Do you ever move your artillery? I guess Your opponent would never get to this property that fast. Yeah, I think you'd always just sit here. Seems like you'd always just walk down to that base. And then what do you do for your opening? Well, it looks like they're trying to guide you to these two properties, but the airport's right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't really boost anything sitting there. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, boost to here. Try and get this. Oh, the birds are really going off. Oh, did the other one not have a land subs? Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I guess the way you deal with this is like your own artillery. I have a cockatiel, a lovebird, and a budgie. I wish I had penguins. That's not allowed. Well, I will start going for the transport copter opening because that's just been my jam as of late. We'll just kind of have my opponent here do natural stuff. The tank opening, probably. Well, if I'm going T-copter, I think it's fine to go for these first. Something like this. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sonia drugs Max? Well, you can just use 2 artillery to kill their artillery. What's going on in the Advance Wars game? I thought it was very lighthearted. People get drugged and are they like experimented on or something? Did I miss doing? Oh no, they just started with that infantry. Okay. Oh no, they go here if I'm doing just natural stuff. Over here. Advance Wars 2 has their dark moments. Oh my. I have to scroll down a bit so I can finish my captures. There we go. So we finish this, start this. Oh, there's like... You want your T-copter all the way on the right side? Oh, can you be... You can probably be super greedy, right? And go like a T-copter opening, go straight up here, and also go straight over here. But they'll see it. Oh, because of this recon. Is that why the recon's here? Do you just do it anyway? You don't care? It's true. The Peeping Tom ruins my transport copter openings. But I think you just do it anyway, right? You just don't care. Let's try that. Oh, killing it with an artillery is so slow. I wouldn't be able to do it before I get my transport copter, or before I'd want to get my transport copter, I should say. I guess you don't really get vision of these unless you're Sonya. Moving, you mean like taking your transport copter, going up like this, and then something like that? One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, you can, if you really wanted to, you could just kill this artillery pretty easily against non-Sonyas. A day 3 recon would be pretty good against a T-copter opening. Maybe you'd always go with the recon opener just so you cover these cities. Maybe the play is to go over here, start the airport capture right away, so they build an early recon, and then you don't build anything from the airport, and you take the chain. I guess you go for the back tank. Good night, Floofy. Sonya does get to see both of these properties from this mountain, which is nice. Yeah, I don't know. I think... Like, what does this transport copter even do next turn? I guess I don't go there. I go over here to hop in it. And then get dropped off over here. It's not super great. Where do you go? Here? No. Yeah, building infantry from back here starts getting pretty awkward pretty quickly. What do you do when you accidentally remove a unit from the move planner? So, say I remove this infantry, it's over here in removed units. You can just click it. It comes back. Notice his description. Oh, someone took their turn. A new message. Et tu brute? Is that saying, are you brute? I don't know which language that is. You too, Brutus? the subject. There's no subject. It's an in-game message. That's like Shakespearean. Oh. So that I'm... If I build a unit that I don't want, I remove it and then just refund myself. So if I like build a tank, I will remove it. And I'll just type in 5,000. Be like, my money's back. Even you betrayed me. What's the fitting response then? To the victor goes the spoils? Sure. Or woe to the vanquished? Have a good one. Sure. What am I even doing in this game? I didn't prepare an opening. Though I should have. Oh, I should have done it in Latin, yeah. What's the proper way to open this map? Is this a... It looks like it'd be really good for transport copter. Look at all of these rivers. I don't know what I would do on Wheel of Torment either yet. I don't think the transport copter is a good opening because the recon sees it. There's an airport way over here. What do I do with this? I mean, I guess it's a fancy boost. It just doesn't do anything. Because I can always just walk across the river. If I go here... I can delay sending infantry down here, I guess, to get this harbor. What time is it here? It's just past 9. Good night, Shadow. Oh, no, it's good night, Advanced Warrior. And Shadow, I think. I could see Lanters being good. It is kind of a long roundabout route to send land units. I wouldn't go a fast lander, though. Oh, you're still here, Shadow. That's cool. We'll go fast airport. It's just what I do nowadays, I guess. And I guess I'll go to the harbor. I'm not seeing any other really good plays. Yeah, these two shoals. so that you're able to, the super windy path down here with your vehicles. I am coal. I guess coal is decent against Olaf, right? Because you want to be on your roads anyway to avoid the snow. Yeah, I saw that DJ's game, yeah. That's funny. That's quite the reaction. If I was playing on my main, I would use the move planner and watch a lot of replays on a new map. I can't really afford to roll with the punches at my current rating. So I would have something planned out. Not like with this game where I don't really have anything planned out, and so I'm just kind of floundering. How good is recon pressure? You know what? We're gonna recon pressure. Like that. Let's bring you back, I guess. Repair. There's a lot more to lose than gain at number 1. I could see artillery being good. All right. Hey, War DJ. You're currently playing Master Combat on the map. How's it going? So many infantry. So far, so good. That's good to hear. I'm a very intimidating player to go against, so no worries. Why did I just move to here? I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm helping in the transport copter anyway. But didn't hop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I just committed to memory. Yeah, I don't usually. You can save your move planner stuff. Can reveal that stuff. Yeah. Like snapshot, restore, download state, upload state. So download state will download all of this into a file that you can then upload. Yeah, I was actually playing some moves on the phone today, which is a sin. You're actually... Let me check to see if anyone's taking a turn. Okay. I just finished a game against Tordred, which I can probably just show you guys. 1 second. How would I even properly show you? Black screen. One second, guys, while I set this up. I think that's fine. And Why is that not working? You guys can see that. There we go. You see that? Is that visible? Okay. And I'll just add the music again. Make sure that's at the right. Okay. You saw Penguin Link videos on my Windows. I have not played the original Advance Wars games. Other than, I think, a very brief time where I got crushed in a multiplayer game in middle school? No, in high school. I didn't know how to capture properties. I would start the capture and I didn't know you had to, like, do it again. So my guys would just stand on the cities until someone came by and killed them. But I've never actually played the games. My friend 42 introduced me to Advance Wars. If you see his profile on Advance Wars by web, he'll apologize for it. So I played the last like 2 of the last 3 turns on this game on the phone, which I don't recommend. But it worked out okay for me. He knew I was going to go Sasha because he plays a lot of Hawk and he knows that I do counterpick stuff. You know, I'll take in the feedback too about this. Oh, move this up. Make it bigger. Might be too big. Move down here. Nope. Too big. Just kind of make it smaller. There we go. So yeah, Torchwood knew I was going to play Sasha because he plays Hawk almost every time on this map for tier 1. So he wanted to counterpick me. Because I was going to go Sasha into his Hawk. So instead he went Javier. Which I think Sasha's perfectly fine against Javier. Because you make it so he can't save his CO power. So he doesn't get to have his super strong turn when he wants to have it. He gets to have it kind of when you let him have it. Assuming you're playing Sasha, right? I mean, here we go. So, because this is a Javier game, there's a huge win con for both players in controlling the comm towers. If either player has both comm towers, they will probably just win the game. If Javier has both of them, he has 20/20 units against base units, which is pretty bad. And then if Sasha has them both, it's you know, against base Javier, and you've got extra income and extra firepower, so you just kind of win. So keeping that in mind, it's going to really dictate the entire game is around these comm towers and forcing investments around the comm towers so that you can win in other places is my game plan. I'm going to of course have very early aggression towards his comm tower. I'm also going to have a period of time where I panic that he's going for early aggression on mine. And in the middle, The middle is going to be determined basically on how well the fights on the sides go. Because the more I can make him invest in defending this comm tower, the less he can have in the middle. And of course, Tordred always plays very heavy in the middle on this map. He has a structured opening where he gets double artillery down here to stop the lander from blocking him in, and then puts both of the artillery in the lander, drops them right here and right here exactly, and then uses those with these forests in the middle to win all these properties. I saw him do that in like every single game on this map. So I did have a possible build in the books where I wouldn't go for the comm tower pressure, and instead I would go for very, very fast artillery and bring it down into this forest and fire on his artillery with a tank backup and just try and ambush his drop that he always does. But I did not end up doing that because, I mean, it's too tempting to go after the comm towers. But I did have some backup strategies that I didn't end up going with. Yeah, Tordred doesn't end up going with an anti-air in the middle, and that's just because he can't afford to. Everything, all the land vehicles he sends to the middle were meant for like defending this comm tower, and then he like sends them after he thinks he's got it kind of squared away. And it doesn't really make sense to build an anti-air to defend this comm tower. So if you build an anti-air here, and then you need to defend this comm tower, you're in a lot of trouble. So it makes it hard to build one to send to the middle. But we'll see how it plays out. Okay, no worries, War DJ. All right, here we go. I also did a lot of research into how Tordred moves his landers on this map. So you'll see I'll have some wonky plays where I'm trying to trap him and do psychological damage to be like, I'm in your head. So yeah, all of his... This is kind of book Tordred. If you watch any of his replays on this map, he kind of does the same things. Good night, Shadow. Where do I do the researching? I download the replays on the Advanced Wars by Web. So very, very simple little infantry openings here. Of course, Tordred knows from watching the video of me against Degis that DPSI did. He knows that I will recon rush. He knows that I will recon rush the comm tower, so he's going to send his very first infantry, which is going to cost him a lot financially to capture this comm tower so that he won't get denied like that. But that's a very expensive thing to do. And you can see I trapped his lander because he always moves it to the same spot. And then just gonna go for this nice little chain here first. Yep. Just double checking that he's here. He's trying to make it so I can't lock him in. Doing a little loop just in case he tries to... If he tries to do the lock-in, now I'll trap him over here. You'll note that I went down, so it looks like my lander is going to go rush and sit on his harbor and deny him income that way. And then if he's trying to like lock this, I'll trap him again. Mostly harmless. He's just kind of doing basic stuff down here. He, of course, retreats because he's scared that I will block his harbor. But this also means that this lander is now free to pick stuff up. We'll just get these captures. And then because I'm Sasha, I can build a tank on turn 4. Which is nice. And very strong pressure on the comm tower. And I just sit here, keeping track of his 2-base lander. Eventually, he's going to move this over to the left one, as he always does, so he can lift infantry onto this mountain. He goes for the comm tower right away. He's very safe. I don't think it would be possible for me to interrupt that unless I skipped this base and just landed in infantry immediately, which would have been an amazing play if I had done it. I don't think it would be good, but it would have been amazing. He's running down to the corner here. You can see he's pretty far behind in the capture game over here in comparison to me. He doesn't even have an infantry heading over here yet, and he's not capping this property yet. Or this harbor. This is all delayed a lot just because one went for this comm tower. And here's his classic tortured play. He's getting the artillery to set up the double artillery to kill my lander once I move down, since he's moved over to the left. He's going to put this artillery here, I think, and then he builds another one in his other games. But he can't really afford to do that against me here because he will have to protect his comm tower. So it's tough to manage to buy 2 artillery just to kill a lander. My tank is on its way. I had expected him to start capping this on day 7 with a mech that walks across. You build the mech on day 4, day 5, day 6, or day 6, day 7. That's what I expected. So I would I have my vehicle timings lined up to interrupt it at day 7. And because, of course, I diverted him down here, I get to bring an infantry out on the front lines. Very sneaky. As the recon is going to be spotting for the tank for day 7. So, because the tank wouldn't have vision of this by day 7, but the recon will be able to give it vision. And now I have locked him in. Which is good, because I'm a little anxious about him rushing my comm tower. Look at all that vision. He sees all that water. Yep, and there's the artillery lining up for the lander. Now he's assuming that I have my lander in here, of course, and that he's got me locked in, but that's not true. So he's going for the airport first instead of this property. That's just because I think just because he's got delayed development over here in the capture phase, and he's worried about me pressuring his comm tower, so he wants the other production building. Bunch of infantry. He can't actually afford his second artillery because he had to go for this comm tower. This is his route across the mountains. Here, then here, then here, and then onto the city. I start this capture. And you'll note that it can be used on day 7 to finish off the mech would be capturing this. The tank would get a hit, and then the infantry would come in and finish it off. Is the plan. But of course, he's already finished this capture. And I do have this capture is delayed, which would normally delay this airport, because this guy usually goes here. And then boom, onto this airport to capture. Instead, I'm going to use this guy to capture the airport and just not try and get the city. Because the infantry that would be doing that is right here. I landed it over. Go back for my airport. I think it's either this turn or next turn that I start getting worried about my comm tower. Because I think I moved my lander. Yeah, because I know that he lines up for the artillery double shot, so I move back. And this also stops him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this also stops him from getting his double artillery drop on these tiles because he can't make it around the lander. He's not going to get trapped, but he doesn't have enough movement to make it there. And then I think he might come back, so I'll trap him. he finishes some captures. He's just now starting these ones. And I'll hop in his lander here. Artillery in, infantry in, and then this is what scares me. As I see the lander go by and drop off. I don't see what it drops off, but I see that it goes over here. And I'm like, oh no, is he rushing my comm tower? So you'll see I start investing a lot on this side. But that will work out because he did drop stuff, so there's stuff to kill. And he's scared, as I would be too, because I'm known for pressuring a lot over here, so he doesn't try and go into either of these forests. He goes and retreats behind the mountains to thwart any capturing infantry on the comm tower, and builds a mech. There's the anti-air. It is very expected for there to be copters coming out to defend these sides. I'm not sure what this lander movement was. I think he's just trying to find out where I am, maybe. So here comes the recon. This is, of course, day 7. I see that he's already completed the comm tower capture and moved the infantry off of it, which means that had to be the very first infantry that was built. That's the only way that's possible. So now I have a choice with this infantry as to whether or not I complete this capture, or if I move it into this forest and set up a capture on the comm tower, which I decide to go for because I know he's behind me economically. So first I check to make sure he's not actually in this forest with my lander. And I'm still thinking about it. I checked to see if he dropped over here, and he didn't, so that bodes well for my comm tower. And I decide to go for this because I know he's behind economically, having to go for this early capture. So I figure it doesn't matter too much about getting these properties. I'm already ahead. But if I can force him to build stuff to defend this, then that means I'll do better in the middle, which I delayed a little bit because I brought an infantry over. That would normally be heading over here. Here's the tank I build because I'm scared about my comm tower getting captured. Then I go with double infantry because I need enough money lined up so that next turn I can go battlecopter, tank, infantry. So I'm not going to build a recon over here. In hindsight, I think I should have just completed this capture and then gone for this capture so that I just get that much more money than him. Because he doesn't... Well, I don't know if he's moved the infantry into this forest. But I think he has to defend this regardless if I start a capture on it. So I didn't need to go for this. I could have just gotten even more money. And that was definitely a mistake. He's back to trying to find where the lander is. And multi-topic talk. Here he goes. He's defending this capture. Anti-air's coming in because he knows I'm going to build a copter over here. His lander comes down here. I'm doing really well. Just reviewing a game I just finished against Torch Red. Now he starts moving towards the middle there. He builds his battlecopter to defend his comm tower. He's very skittish with his infantry because he doesn't want me to be able to step onto this mountain and hit him. Alrighty, finish the capture, start this capture, start moving to get this capture in 2 turns, and I'll have a little wave of infantry to move into the middle. Lots of finishing captures. Starting this capture, I know because he dropped down here and not up here that this is actually safe for me to go for. So no fear there. But I also know that stuff did get dropped off. So we're going tank, battlecopter, and then there'll be a double infantry. Do a little boost. I think that's actually a fake boost. And I have plans to double load in. No, that's a real boost. But I have plans to double load into this lander and drop down here if this capture starts going okay. Because if he doesn't actually build a copter, then when he puts his mech on this mountain and this infantry hits me, I can slam my vehicles into them to weaken them. And then I can have infantry around to join Cap finish to take the comm tower. So I'll start that. I think this is a mistake overall. I should just finish this and be capping this this turn, but it's okay. And then I know this is safe to lock him in because he's already dropped up his artillery, and he can't really afford to build more artillery to scare my lander out. So my lander can kind of just sit here as long as I want it to, because he needs to invest in protecting his comm tower and the middle. And because I'm Sasha, and he was hampered in the beginning with the capture phase because he went for the comm tower right away, he can't really afford to fight on all three fronts like I can. So the more I can pressure him on every side, the better. He's lining up to start this. Start moving into the middle. He finally found me. He sees that I've already captured this, which probably feels pretty bad for him, considering he's nowhere close to capturing this one. Artillery comes over to defend this infantry because he thinks I'll hit it, which is true. I'll definitely hit that. It's on the road. He starts moving into the middle, boosting more infantry. You know, he can't really afford these like multi-vehicle purchases like I can. Like, he can't go copter tank because he's not Sasha. Pretty much. He can just go tank, infantry. So I get my comm tower. I get to kill his copter for just an injured tank. And it's a really safe kill, too, because this anti-air is in the forest and it's out of range of this mech. So I know that anti-air is going to live. And then I can go for this kill because I know it's out of range of this mech. And it's out of range of anything he could build from this base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do think that building an artillery and dropping it behind the comm tower is good if you're trying to defend that. And that's something that, especially as Javier, you should probably look into doing. But it's also pricey if you're having to fight on all three fronts, and then you're dropping an entire vehicle behind these mountains to just sit there and stare at a comm tower. I would not have done this move here if he wasn't Javier. No, I would have just taken these cities. There's for both players, there's a lot more pressure on the comm towers. And you can see I've lined up to ambush his delayed infantry for this capture, instead of going down here, because I've decided that this isn't worth fighting for, because my tank got injured killing the copter, and he's going to have built a tank. So I use this copter to scout out this property, so I can attack it. Like so. And I build another tank, because I don't know if he dropped off... I don't know if he has a tank over here, I guess I should say. I know he dropped off at least one vehicle. So as he's fallen from my trap. He's got a little bit earlier of a presence in the middle, but my presence, I got the first battle copter in the middle, so that's going to be good for me. That's just because he was delayed. Or no, it's not because he was delayed. He went this route to get the airport, and I went from my harbor over, which is a turn faster, even if it's less efficient, because you don't go for this side property. Which I guess if he had like really thought about it, he could have sussed out that I would have my airport earlier because I didn't go for this capture. But I don't know if he did that. Building another mech because he's feeling very pressured over here. And he doesn't want to He can't afford, I should say, to build vehicles on all of these fronts. I don't agree with this play that he made right here, where he revealed that he had an artillery in this forest to shoot this infantry. I think he should have just gone for the double infantry hit to try and sucker in a tank. He does reveal my copter, though. Made me very sad. So both players' copters got sniped, but that does put me in my CO power range, which is nice. So I can come and kill this anti-air, which was a really good trade for me because that anti-air had to take quite a while to get up here. And then it's only a 1,000 value down for me. But killing an anti-air is worth more than a copter unit count-wise, because airports are kind of like bonus units. And that was a copter I just built last turn, so I can very easily replace it by just building another one. And it will be basically exactly where it was. Where if he builds an anti-air, he has to spend 3 turns getting to where he was. So I'll market crash to wipe his power bar, and then do my infantry engagements so that I take less damage on my infantry, while also not giving him very much charge. How's all the penguins feel about being led by a koala? I do like koalas, but I think they're very amicable. Koalas and penguins get along very well, as everyone knows. I repair my injured tank. I'm moving this copter over while it's still covering everything, so that I could, if nothing happens over here, I can move the copter to help contest his comm tower, and that would actually be really strong. Because, like, now he wouldn't be able to really scare me off with mechs and the like. And I go double copter, triple infantry, which is something he can only dream of doing. Well, I think he can do it next turn, if he doesn't have any repairs. But it's not something that he can dream of doing on the regular. He could do it. He interrupts my poor capping infantry, makes me very sad. But I do have 2 copters staring at that, but I didn't see his infantry move into this forest. He's fighting me over here. I, of course, see that artillery make this movement, which is really bad for him, because now I know it's in this forest. And there's a tile right here that I can reveal it from. So, a very vulnerable position. He's kind of locked into chaining copters here forever, which is bad for him because I have more money than he does, so I can afford to chain copters much easier than he can. Now he's moved his mech into this forest to protect everything. Another mech. You can see he's really strapped for cash while having to fight on all 3 fronts. So he has to build a lot of mechs. And there are a lot of mechs without transport units, which is really weak. So I get some captures. I come back to check to make sure this square doesn't have an infantry on it. Do my nice little engagements. The copter gets to strike as soon as it could move. So now I can stand here and hit this infantry. Don't get the roll. Very sad. Kill this guy off. This tank can come in and hit this artillery. So that was the weakness of showing where the artillery was going and not having enough stuff around to actually protect it. So now he's kind of been broken completely on this front. Go here to reveal this 1 health penguin. Or not penguin. Whoa. The penguin's revealing this 1 health guy. I saw him walk there from the city. So I can kill him off, get this copter strike. And then I have a choice here. I can either start this capture to kind of like threaten to finish it next turn, or I could move him to have my copter come in and finish off his copter. I think the correct answer, because otherwise I'd have to hit from this tile that may or may not have an infantry in it. I think the correct answer is actually to remove this infantry. But that's not what I do. I go for the incorrect answer. And it shows that I waited, but that's just a replay glitch. I actually got trapped right here in this forest. We'll get our anti-air to come over here for this fight, because I know it's going to be a copter chain war. I'm moving back because I don't know if he built the second tank or not. You can see he built the artillery and this lander so that he would be able to lock down his comm tower, but he's feeling very pressured over here, so he's going to have to send it to the middle. There's my copter that got trapped. So it would have been a lot better if I had moved this infantry. I also don't really need the income. It would have been much more valuable to just kill off the copter. So he hits my copter, he finishes off with his own. Gets some infantry engagements. He's kind of close to his CO power, but I don't think he gets it. But also he has the problem that all of the important engagements have already happened. So he would, of course, use it, because otherwise I just clear it. So he gets a 5 health attack on this tank. It's not really that scary for me. I think I see this mech go in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I don't. I just assume there's a mech in that forest. So he hops in the lander, and he's going to drop it off over here. His infantry did a sacrificial attack, injure me. That was a very bold play, attacking that infantry when he knows that I have at least an injured tank and an anti-air and a recon. But you can see that he's feeling like this mech is covering anything that blocks this or steps onto the city. He would just step over here and hit me with the tank and the mech. He'll drop his artillery over here to help in the center fight rather than defending his comm tower, because he feels like he's kind of doing okay over here. He's doing really bad over here, so he's building a tank. And he didn't expect me to release his lander, so he didn't actually have anything set up to go into it. So instead he just brings a single infantry up here. All right. Complete some captures, and then this is the turn where I make the correct decision, and I don't finish this capture even though I get the city. I will move this infantry so that I can have my my copter kill this copter and let this other copter come through. You'll see I'm going to be killing off these infantry over here, recon infantry, reveal this mech, move my lander over here to check out what he dropped. Yeah, I know he only dropped an infantry because that's the only thing he could have dropped onto that mountain. Move this guy back up here, just out of the way. Kill off his artillery, and now I'm going to activate my power. Clear almost everything, so that's perfect. That means I'm not wasting any clearing. It wouldn't matter if I cleared it later on after more engagements. He still would have had some power left. So now he has no vision over here. He has no way of stopping me from taking his property, which is a big econ swing. And then I'm just going to have a lot of killing off infantry and fighting units in the middle here. Attacking him from... Make sure to, of course, attack this infantry before moving this copter so that it remains revealed for another infantry to finish it off. Like so. Gets to make this nice attack from the city, bring him down to 5, and then I get to go after this mech because he just has a 5 health tank. I know he has his other mech here, and I can kind of suss out what all of his buys were. Bring the lander down here so I can hop infantry into it. Of course, continue the battlecopter chain fight, because that's something I can afford much better than he can, because I'm, of course, Sasha and up in properties. I'm going to build a recon over here. It's going to be heading to the middle, because I know he has a lot of infantry over here. And I'd also like to have vision. So he uses his artillery to finish off my injured infantry. Tank comes in and fights some infantry. He gets to use his power. But you'll note, of course, he doesn't have actually that great of engagements to make with his power, but he's forced to use his power because if he saves it for another turn... Oh, there's my birds. If he saves it for another turn, I will just clear his power bar. So he's going to finish off a lot of these infantry. He's going to come in. He's going to hit this copter really hard because he's... with his one comm tower and his power active, he has 30% more attack and defense. Because he gets double the value from all of his comm towers and then also the base 10%. So he's slowly trying to build up a force to fight back over here. 5 health. Just kind of tickles the anti-air. 6 health is still enough to scare off any battlecopter production, which is really bad for him. Because he really wants to be able to build them. Of course, he can't really afford to be building battlecopters from here and the middle. And this is... my birds do not get to roam the house, sadly. This is something that Sasha definitely has over Javier, is the increased money, so I can fight on all 3 fronts and really strain his resources. I did think about building a fighter, and instead I decided to build an anti-air because I thought he might eventually build an anti-air, and that would have been really sad if my fighter had gone in and gotten hit and given him enough charge. I did also think about building a stealth, because I have these 9 health tanks, and I've already won this front. So I have, of course, the choice of loading them into the lander to drop off in the middle to suddenly have tanks in the middle, or I could give myself an influx of cash and build a stealth or a fighter. I do not decide to do that, though, because I think that the battlecopter fight is advantageous to me. So yeah, I thought this chain fight's really good for me because it's forcing him to build battlecopters, and it also gives us a predictable amount of charge, which helps me manage his power bar. So he's got really strong stats right now, but if I go after his injured units, it's not that bad, as we see. And then as long as I stand in this forest, he can't actually use his mech to hit anything that I care about. I can start threatening to capture these other cities. I thought he might kill the anti-air, so I built another one. But instead, I'm just going to have 2 anti-air, which is good because he has nothing but mechs and infantry. So it works out well. And then I decide, you know what, I'm just going to take his comm tower, bring these infantry from the middle. And this is a very big threat on his comm tower, and there's nothing he can actually do about it. Even with copters at 30%, it doesn't matter. I can still 2-hit KO though. 2-hit KO them. And you can see from the unit count and unit value that I am monstrously ahead, as you would expect, since I completely won a side and I'm winning one side and kind of even in the middle, but really I'm ahead because I have an anti-air, 3 copters to 2 copters. I have more injured infantry, even he has a tank and artillery that don't do anything against all these copters. My bad, I have 4 copters. Really annoying formation here. None of his infantry can actually reach over here to reveal this 1 health infantry. Or hit this 9 health infantry. So he can't really do anything about this unless he wanted to use his artillery to spot this and then use the copter to kill it, and then the tank can kill his 5 health. It's just not worth it. I'll just retreat, so if he wants to chase me, I can use my reinforcements faster. And another tank. And he hits me here. He's trying to clear this infantry. That would have been amazing if a 3 health infantry killed a 4 health infantry. Hit my poor recon, and then he resigns. He, of course, wouldn't have gotten another power anytime soon, and I was already ready to clear him again. And I was going to take his comm tower, and I was going to win the middle pretty soon, while also winning the other 2 sides. So I kind of just won on every section of the map, as is the Go7 way. Good look at the build. Wait, I can move this? Maybe. Nope. Compare to Tortured. There we go. So, I of course got one more turns of builds. Yeah. Well, I thought about building a stealth like 3 turns earlier, but I think it was a good choice to not do so. So you can see I built more, but I also... No, it ended on his turn. Okay. So you can see I got 3 more infantry buys out of this, as well as 2 more copter buys. It's pretty good. And death-wise, I lost like 12,000 less, which is huge. Yeah. This became easy after the mid-game. So, I'd say the last, like, 7 turns, I don't know if we did all 7 today, those were pretty easy. But the early turns when I was doing all of my prep work took a long time. The game overall took a month. Some of that's just when I have the spare time. Yeah, that only works because that timing of that only works, I should say, because I knew he had to use his first infantry to rush the comm tower. So, while it might, the most time-consuming turns are definitely the early turns where I'm coming up with everything I want to do. The later turns with all the engagements and the tactics, not that long. I won my weak side because I did I was able to do battlecopter tank at the same time, so I can overrun him with vehicles that he's not expecting. I don't know if D just really wants to do that commentary. That's a game where basically I got he just missed a tactic basically, and then the game was over. So we're looking at unit count deaths. Oof. Yeah, I was never behind in kills. Green being my opponent's deaths, purple being my deaths. There was never a moment. Basically, once I started getting the kills, I just kept getting the kills. Yeah. It was a tough match when I was figuring out everything he was doing. Once I figured out what he was doing, then it was pretty streamlined. There was some tough decisions around that first infantry going for the comm tower. And then, like, is he trying to rush mine as well? But once it got locked into the 3-front fighting, it was over. See if I can... Is there a search stuff? Yeah. Can I just vandalism? So it looks like I researched 3 of his games. And then one with camp buying? Because this was a double Javier game. So I wanted to see what Javier was up to. Tordred plays a lot faster than I do, so he doesn't have as much prep work going. But he's got pretty good tactics. He had some really tricky plays in the middle there with the like the infantry in the forests protecting the double hits on his copters and stuff. I do tend to be a very intimidating player to go against. That's something I've heard a lot. I also go for a lot of those psychological plays, like the lander traps and stuff like that, to try and get into the opponent's head. I think he said that he got into resignation mode. I think around turn 9? No, turn 10. Yeah. Around turn 10, when I was revealing I had more tanks over here, is when he started feeling like he was in the resignation mode and was just trying to throw stuff at me because he would think I'd have to be weak somewhere, kind of. But I don't have to be because I'm Sasha. I do need to pick my maps for that tournament. I don't play that many games. And some, you can definitely tell, I don't play every game as well, or as well thought out, I guess, as all of them. You can definitely tell the games where I don't have an overall strategy. Like my game against Hogat where I was Grim, I did not have an overall strategy for that game, and it was very evident with how uncoordinated my play was. But there's definitely some games where I have a very clear plan and I execute it very well. Yeah, no problem. See if I can swap this over real quick without breaking stuff. I saw that I have a turn to take over here. That's right, we're going to go for an aggressive game. Be aggressive. And of course, my opponent could very easily cheat by just watching my stream or recordings, but it's a challenge account. I'm not super concerned with winning or losing. But of course, I will not be playing any accounts on any games on my main account, as that would be a sad way to lose some games there. Okay. Any questions I missed? Looks like I got all the questions. Well, there's no more questions, and it looks like there's no more turns to play over here. I think I'll probably call it there. I'll play some. I'll do some live play on another stream. I'll also probably do some Wargroove stuff. You'll do a rematch of our previous match live? You mean the one where I granted you vision? Oh yeah, you'll definitely get there. I think the 1300 mark is very achievable. I am a lot worse at playing it live. Like that game was only like 13 turns and it took me a month to play. It's kind of sad. I might invite some guests. I was thinking of doing some. There's a Wargroove tournament that I'm going to be playing in very soon, so I might stream some like practice sessions of that. I don't know. Oh yeah, like the game against Hogat was like 3 months long. I do that kind of thing too against players that play more live. I'll definitely slow down my play. Or if I know their time zone and they're getting low on time, I'll make sure I take my turns at the least opportune time for them. I will play dirty. Look, when you're at the top, you gotta do all you can do to stay at the top. I won't do that in friendlies. Sometimes I won't do it in Global League either, but I'll definitely do it in tournament matches. Like I know Tordred likes to play live, so I'll usually slow down my play a lot against him. Same against Starflash. Because if I'm using the time and they're not using the time, then it's a huge up to me. And if they don't like watch replays, then time gaps between turns can also hurt them. Right, we can quickly look over. Oh, infinite loop. See, it's working against you, Mr. Greensuit. But like against Talos, when he was getting low on time, I was taking those turns quickly. I was like, you're gonna feel the time pressure. So this game I do some funky stuff. But this is also a case where I know that Tordred doesn't watch the replays, I think. He has a weird engagement over here. Actually, I'm not sure what happened with this engagement. Because he saw, if he watched the replay, he knows my anti-air killed something on this property. He's fighting down here. It's fine. And then this infantry still spots this anti-air, and he still comes in with a copter. So I don't know if he, like, just did this action really fast. But if he had seen the replay, he never would have gone in like this, I think. I think what might have happened is he, like, did a really fast action where he's like, oh, I'm going to have my infantry hit here, I'm going to have my copter hit here. And just didn't change when he sees the anti-air. But off of that kill, with this anti-air against this copter, a lot's going to happen over here, and will eventually just lead to the game ending very quickly. Because once anti-airs get kills and don't get hit back, their value goes up immensely. So of course over here I will make sure to there's fun stuff happening over there, but I'll make sure to protect this anti-air by moving this infantry onto this forest, like so. And now this anti-air is in range of his airport. And once they've got vehicles in range of your production buildings, like the pressure gets amped on a lot, and you have to respond to that. Which means I can just leave the area, and then you're defending against nothing, and you get crushed in another section of the map where I have my full forces against half your forces, basically. Is the story of this game. You can see he's built up his stuff over here to defend against me going for his airport, but I just left. He's moving forward to scare me off, but of course I'm not there. And then I just crush him in the middle. But that all came off of that one anti-air. Or like the one copter going in. Which I assume is because he didn't watch the replay. There aren't any players in Fog that I'm wary of. I'm pretty sure I'm the best Fog player currently. I'll say I think I'm the GOAT of Fog. But I have to have 1,000 subs for YouTube to start paying out. I think I'm almost halfway there, which is pretty good. I think in Standard, I'm very wary of Starflash. I was very wary of LVJD. I have heard of Spoot. I saw one of his games. I hear that Spoot's a new player. I don't know who Croffy is. I'd be wary of Voice of Akasha if he played. I'm wary of Mr. Greensuit. He's pretty scary in Standard. I don't really know that much about the older Chinese players. I learned a lot from playing against FKZY back in the day. Yeah, I was wondering if that was Voice of Akasha's alt. Because it doesn't play Fog and plays High Funds in Standard. I'm looking forward to fighting it. I think I can definitely take it. So this game against... My game against LVJD, I had the first 9 turns planned out. I think DPSI is doing his video on it. So I don't know I don't really want to take his views. LVJD threw this one? Yeah. Well, LVJD played like LVJD. Yeah, you're talking about the missile turn? Is it this turn? Yeah. No, previous turn is when he builds it. Turn he could have smashed to the super. Oh, this turn? Yeah. I don't know if he threw... Well, he kind of threw the super turn. He doesn't have a great super. But he did die immediately because he didn't use a power. Yeah, I would agree. The black bow pressure was really good though, and I knew he would respond like he did, very slow. Kind of like long-term defensive plays with the early rocket, which lets me get a lot done. If DPSI doesn't do a video on it, I'll do a video on it. I'll be like, maybe I'll do a little series of Go7 versus the Fog versus Standard. Because I think some of the top of Standard, I've got games against Starflash. I've got this tournament game against Talos. I've got my game against LVJD. I don't know if a tournament... I think a tournament game counts, right? I'm fine with giving away tactics and strategies. I'm not trying to... I view my role as a #1 player as being an obstacle to overcome, not a win streak lord. My games do get studied a lot. But a lot of the players that would study my games and then, I guess, play to counter it, with a lot of the Chinese players, they don't seem to be playing anymore. Or maybe they're just out of my range. Or maybe I'm just not giving it to them. So a lot of the, I guess, the newer Fog players didn't have much knowledge of my games. Which was beneficial for me. Yeah, Talos did die in this opening. Going for the early airport against the Recon. Switch his. Let's have you base to the left. Yeah, because the recon ends up doing so much damage. And copters just aren't good. Good deterrence to recons. They don't hit hard enough. Oh, is that what's happening in China? I have not been up to date on my China news. I think a lot of them just stopped playing. Maybe. Well, that's very serious. I did have an interesting turn here. Was it this? Yeah. It was like if he doesn't hit this infantry, I think. I had it set up. I'd have to look it over again. But I had it set up so I could like kill. Yeah, I would kill this infantry with my copter, and then if he hadn't hit this infantry, I would step here with it to block his anti-air, and then I would finish his capture in 2 turns. But he hit this guy. Or I guess he also hit this at a roll that he can clear it. Because he could have also like low rolled, and then I could have done the same play. Yeah, I should look at some of the older fog matches. I haven't really done that. So instead I went for this play. Where I killed this infantry, I blocked and then hit this guy. To keep my copter in this area. It's not nearly as good of a play. But, oh, there's also this fun thing. Where his copter came in and hit me, but like it can't actually do anything. So the early copter just like it just delays a comm tower a turn and nothing else. That's wobble defense. And anti-airs for you. You liked the last turn? Oh, and I go in over here with my copter. Yeah. That was cute. And the tank comes over. And suddenly it's like, I'm coming over here. I also do fun stuff on the left here, yeah. Where it's like, you're going to lose your airport over here. You have to switch your units back over here. And then I'm also winning in the middle because I have so many more infantry than you. Yeah, I'm not sure what he has to do here. I know he just resigns. I don't know. Because when I was making that turn, I wasn't sure what he could do. He can scare me off over here if he like front switches everything. But then I think he loses this city. And he has no way of saving his airport. His airport's super dead. With the double battlecopter anti-air. Tank artillery, tank coming in. Anti-air blocking anti-air here. Yeah. I'm even in position to start the capture here, but he can sack to slow it down. Yeah, he was watching our practice matches too. I was really surprised that he went for that one. Because that was the one that you resigned really fast. But he might have seen it and was like, nah, it's not really resignable. Kind of a thing. Or he might have thought they were practice matches for me against him, but they were practice matches for you on this map. So he might have thought the resignation was me admitting defeat to the opening. When it was the opposite. That would be funny. Like the copter does look really strong here. It's just there isn't anything for it to attack yet. And it has to defend. So later copter I think is just better. Yeah, the recon's really strong. I know in Voice of Akash is the one that made this map, and then his like game he showed on his Twitch channel, the really old one that was Javier versus Sasha. When he was player 1, he didn't go for the recon opener, and he does a base skip over here to get a tank faster over here to try and counter the recon, and justifies it by saying that building a recon is like base skipping with an infantry. I think that was just... I mean, I don't agree with some of the things he said in that video, but that was also a much older game. So... Maybe that was more acceptable back then, I guess. Because it seems to me, because I guess from his viewing, it's like he's skipping an infantry, like the opponent's skipping an infantry, but really it's just the recon player getting a free infantry kill. We didn't test any of the APC stuff. I would be interested to see if we could suss out some APC stuff. I mean, the best counter to the recon might be to just not go for your airport when they build a recon. Yeah. Because the recon's scary because there isn't a tank out yet. So you can just delay going for it. They can't really pressure you because they did build a recon. Yeah. It's tough though. With these roads and these shoals, the recon's so strong. I find this back airport kind of useless. I'm not sure what it's for. Like, it's not even arranged to build a T-copter and then move into it next turn. I guess you could do it over here. My plans for shadows chase you endlessly. I played a game on it with my alt. That I would probably do the same. I played Sonya. That's what I'm expecting to have to do in the tournament. I don't know if you saw that game, though. Let's see if I can quickly download it. My opponent went for something very interesting. Just tier 4, sadly. So let's see here. I go for this black bow thing, of course. But they're going up and around. They come down here. Build a tank. Get their infantry ready. Boom. It doesn't work out that well because these aren't actually very easy to defend against me because it's 3 turns for him and 2 turns for me, and I also have an airport right there. But it'd be interesting to see if there's anything like that. Just in time for the he did the preemptive anti-air. So of course I just don't build a copter. And then crush him in the middle. And that's game. But I am kind of interested in maybe I'll try and suss out some sort of black boat play. Instead of just doing all the blocking stuff. I think that could be fun. I'm not sure what it would be. Maybe like double mech drop. Boom, boom. My usual transport witchcraft. Yeah. Trying to block, but it's kind of too late over here. That's the problem with going with the preemptive anti-air, is if you don't have enough pressure to force a copter, they just build tanks to your anti-air. Yeah. And then I'm outnumbering him in the middle, so I can kind of do whatever I want. And then I can do the preemptive anti-air, because I'm the one with the pressure. This mech is also not good. It's gonna take forever to actually get into the fight. It has no transports. And of course, the problem with going with these early captures like that is I can just kind of let you take them, and then I can just capture them because I've got the forces. And since the pressure is now off on me over here, I can just block the anti-air and build a copter. And then look at all this. You can't get more than one hit on these guys. And then these captures are very scary because the only things in range is this one infantry and vehicles. And if you have to use vehicles on infantry by stepping into range of other vehicles, you are really, really sad. But I think this was a newer player. They played a lot better than like in 800, I think. Except for that play, that was weird. And they had a nice little unique plan there. So I'm not sure if it was an alt of like 1,000 rated. Maybe not 1,000. 900 rated. I'm not sure. Could have just been a new player. I think they played pretty well for a new player, though. I play live on stream and guess the rating. I don't know how that would work. Be fine. Oh my gosh, it's 10:36. Okay. I think I'll call the stream there. How long was it? Over 2 hours. Oh my gosh. It's just going to be a short thing. I hope everyone enjoyed their time. And I'll see you guys next time.